Not seen this hero a ton in this position, or even I'm not completely up to date on what the build is. I don't know if it's like Blink Shard or maybe like a BKB or something like that. Maybe even an Ag Scepter. No clue, right? I'm excited to figure it out. Be sure.
Yeah, me too. I am curious to how much that's gonna work out for them. I hope it works out decently, at least as a hero. I just feel like this doesn't fix the issues in your draft that you've had.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It is a master tier Treant Protector though, which is certainly something.
So.
And starting off with a Wraith Band.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, the extra armor I can see actually being pretty well utilized in a Treant Protector, right? Especially because I think you're up against. Oh no, you're up against Nick, so I don't think it matters too much then.
Nice.
I don't know. Maybe he destroys his lane and then he just bedazzles himself.
Navi or Solo is a voice line extraordinaire. I think.
No, he's a connoisseur. I'd say.
Connoisseur.
This is the best voice line in the current iteration of voice lines.
Oh.
What?
Okay, no worries. I think everything is going to be fixed here momentarily.
What?
Nothing too bad here. Just having a problem with my camera binds.
Oh, okay. We will be fixing that soon.
All is confusion.
Assume.
Our ancestors.
As far as team fight goes, though, I don't know if either team has got like a huge advantage over the other. I guess Navi, just with Eclipse and Night Stalker running in with the Solar Guardian to back up, seems like very good.
Navi's the better one at you draft, right? But if Nemiga can set up in like a high ground or something like that, they have an advantage for sure. You know, around choke points, etc., etc. I feel like Navi's team fight is more free. It's something we often don't talk about. I also think about team fights. We always talk about like, oh, who has the better team fight, right? It's like a very basic kind of binary concept, but not what kind of team fights they're looking for, and also like what's the advantages of each team fight. And I think for Nemiga, you definitely have a team fight that works really well on choke points and to reset fights. You have good counter initiation. You're very good overall in the 5-on-5. But Navi can just run at you endlessly and nothing can really stop them, right? I think that's where their strength comes in a team fight. They can make it very chaotic. They have a lot of options to like disable you with either Hex or Spike Carpus. You have healing on top of it. Like it's an easy quote-unquote team fight to administer.
Yeah. True.
High floor, low ceiling, I'd say, for Navi. Whereas for Nemiga, super high ceiling, but really low floor.
And not something that a Dazzle really likes to hear either, right? He prefers a much more basic team fight where he's allowed to kind of just stand in the back, as a couple of tips on a Sobat himself. As they will make the play to charge up the hill into a ward of Navi, but Navi have currently set up on the Radiant side for the bounty. A bit aggressive, and actually looks like Hellscream's going to be the target. So bad, at least with a good application, however, of the poison touches. Hellscream is going to juke in and out of the Roche pit. Does manage to get out, and that'll kite out no one. First blood then from Malorine.
It shall be duly noted.
Nice job there. You can juke right on the edge of this Roche pit boundary, and it provides kind of a vision barrier that can be very awkward to negotiate through.
Who got the first blood in the... it was Malorine, okay. So, pretty nice advantage for the early game for Puckers and Night Stalker. We saw this matchup at Riyadh and we were surprised by how much Night Stalker dominated this matchup. I don't think this matchup should be, like, completely Night Stalker favorite. I think that was a ridiculous one. Remember? Like, it was, like, 20 last difference at the end of the laning stage, something like that. It was like, doubling his last hits.
I think the important part is he needs to go for an early point in Crippling Fear. That's what really broke the matchup for a Puck.
Oh, yes. It was level 4 Crippling Fear, I think it was, and he committed the Puck committed suicide afterwards.
I'm not sure. I think it was even Crippling Fear earlier. I'd have to, like, check the replay again. But it wasn't much earlier points in Crippling Fear than one would expect for a laning Night Stalker, especially in the short lane. And again, all it really does is force Puck to use spells on the way in or not use them at all. And then if you use them to secure CS, no one just activates Crippling Fear. You can't leave, and you take tons of right-click damage from this man.
Yep. And Night Stalker has really good base stats, often underappreciated. In a 1v2 lane, these don't matter because you have no spells to utilize them with, right? But in a 1v1 lane, they matter much more so. Now, the interesting lane, though, at least for me, is the Treant Protector lane. What is the power of him, right? Obviously, he's going to outlast the Luna. I think that's out of the question, at least in the early levels, right? Can he harass the Luna enough? Can he potentially kill her? We'll see. He struggles, of course, to secure in the range last. That's what Zeus is for. But I am interested in when the power spike for Treant Protector hits in this offense.
Spin down bottom will get Kiritic out of a difficult situation, as Sweden Strong's unable to execute him with the Ether Shock for the kill. And just a quick little healing salve will get him basically back up to full. Lots of harass in this bottom lane. But yeah, I'm also really curious as well. Still top. Vazia at least getting some nice space. Hellscream may have slightly overcommitted here, but they really lack the right-click damage. But it's about half his HP gone there for just about nothing.
Yeah, they had jumps. I think that's why Zeus was playing a little bit more aggressively, but also Spike Carpus, right? So careful. Luckily, Nyx is only level 1, so it's not going to be that major yet. Bottom, I also expect... I mean, Dazzle is a really good laner, but he usually struggles against heroes that can just out-trade him, right? And Shadow Shaman is probably the king at that, because he's ranged, so he's not as concerned about Poison Touch. And on top of that, he can actually out-trade Dazzle 9 times out of 10. If Dazzle just Poison Touches you, all you do as Sweden Strong is you like hit him a couple of times and shackle him, and you heal back up, in addition to just be able to kill him. So Dazzle does not like this matchup whatsoever. I would say it's actually one of the worst matchups for Dazzle 5. Obviously, Jug destabilizes this a lot, but I'm just talking about support versus support.
Yep.
Yeah, we're seeing this here, right? Sweden Strong is like, let's go, shackles, and so bad will die. Like Clockwork, right, Richie? I have played enough Dazzle to understand. I hate Shaman.
Kiritic is going to be fine, but he will take a bit of a beating and healing salves as top lane. Bit of counter initiation now. Solo on the Spike Carapace, eager to return a bit of damage into Vazia. There's the Heavenly Jump to get Hellscream out of range of a Lucent Beam. Only level 1 Lucent Beam likely wouldn't have killed him, but either way, he's not going to want to get too close to that death. Who would?
Death is scary, Richie. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Vitoon, he also is going for the full farming build. You know, I mean, this is the more common build in general for his Luna, but I think in this lane, you're not really sure what to expect, if you can win it or not. I think you just go for the safe route and say, if he kicks me out, I guess I just go jungle, and that's what the Lunar Blessing plus, I'm assuming next point will be Moonglaves eventually, will be used for. I've not seen a Luna go for Lucent Beam in a while, to be honest. In the lane.
Oh, they do end up getting that Jug bottom. A bit surprising. He got away from the first Shackles initiation, but on the second go, he just didn't have the HP to tank up.
Mid lane, we've seen no points of Crippling Fear for no one. He's taking quite a beating, but the Helm of the Iron Will keep him healthy a little bit, and he is saving all his points in general. He's only putting points in Void.
Yeah, and again, I do think that we've seen this mid lane matchup go fairly well for the Night Stalker. Good spin there. He's going to secure the kill on a Sweden Strong.
You know, a lot of stacks of Poison Touch, but top, Vazia is the target now. However, they lack the stuns, and Hellscream protects them properly, even considering going for solo, but unfortunately lack of mana deters him away from it.
Yeah, 3 points in the Void now. Very much not what we've seen before. I mean, I don't know. I do think this matchup is actually can be really good with Night Stalker. Perhaps the points into Crippling Fear aren't super fun, but I mean, you take a look at just the kills, or sorry, the last hits and denies from this game compared to the other, which we're referencing from Riyadh, and it's a completely different story.
A prize.
Malrin as well, just free to regen all the way back to full. And is going to really have no difficulties. Top lane, they're going again for Vazia, who is going to juke through the trees here quite effectively. But Vitoon gives chase, and Solo connects on the Impale. Stick charge from Vazia with the bonus regen he gets from his passive. Still not going to keep him alive, unfortunately.
You see second point Lucent Beam, actually. So, I don't know if he got it just for this kill, or he was actually planning on it the whole time, but it ends up working out as they kill Trumpeter early, so kind of works out for them. Of course, that means no point in Glaive, so if you want to go jungle earlier, it's going to be a little more difficult. Maybe Mask of Mass will help him in that regard, as he now, with the treads, seems like a strong enough laner to survive this Trim Protector.
Yep, and here's the Hunter in the Night now being leveled up to level 2, so he's dumped all his heal points in. He's at level 6.
No Crippling Fear.
Yep, no Crippling Fear. Again, just to point it out, not what we saw earlier. I think this lane can be good for Night Stalker.
Look at the Shackles. Look at the Dazzle versus Shaman. It's such an impossible matchup. As the Hex Poison touches off, and Sobad realizes you just cannot trade against this support. Top lane, though, Solo is in trouble himself, as Hellscream lacks the jump, lacks the mana for any more spells. But Vazia is fast enough, or not. Solo, a quick little cockroach that gets exterminated by the God of Thunder.
Yep, I'll have him there pretty easily. Mid lane, the spin onto Laze here is fairly good. He has no Celestial Hammer for another second. The Hex, though, is going to be good enough. And now with the Night Stalker TPing in, Dark Ascension is ready, but he lacks mana for it. Doesn't need it, actually, as Sweden Strong will simply lock down Kiritic, giving an easy kill to no one.
The what we saw very often in these Night Stalkers are also the Armlet into Shard, right? So we'll see that coming into play most likely here for no one this game, as he's rushing that Armlet as soon as he can, not even going for the full face boots before he finishes the Armlet. So bad could be in trouble himself. Sweet and Strong saw the opportunity, but unfortunately Lays doesn't have any mana, so maybe not the best time to try to play aggressive.
Rotations mid, courtesy of Solo. Bit of a difficult target here onto Malorine, who does not jaunt onto the orb. And now Solo could be the one to be in trouble. Carapace, though, is going to reflect just the right-click damage of Malorine as he snaps coil and should himself be killed by a couple more right-clicks. There he goes. No one, has no point in the silence, so it's just a quick jump up to the high ground for Malorine, and he's A-okay.
Yep. The kill on Soul, not that big a deal, but of course the fact that you rotate your next assassin, you leave your carry alone, and it's just a feed, it doesn't feel like the best of rotations. However, at least no one gets some free time now as Malorine decided to go back home to heal, sorry.
Regen. He wants that regen. That's all we need.
Oh, Lays, look at his build, by the way. He's actually thinking of Orchid as his next item on the Dawnbreaker. I've never seen this personally in a Dawnbreaker. It seems like a really good Orchid game, mind you, but it's certainly interesting. I know Collapse, for example, is a very big fan of the Orchid on Viper as first item in the offlane.
Kind of seems like overkill to me, though. I don't know. You already have the Night Stalker and the Nyx as in some trouble and dead is so bad. Oh, and even the Shackles finds Malorine, but Sweet and Strong is going to eat a level 3 spin. In comes no one with a DD rune active and the Solar Guardian keeping Sweet and Strong alive. No one now, still no points here in the Crippling Fear. They might not need it though. With the DD rune, he will cut right through Malorine. And maybe the Carry Teach isn't safe.
Run into the trees, but unfortunately, a flying Night Stalker cannot be juked. He's asking for the high five. Unfortunately, there's no hands on the slam, and soon there's no life on it either. As no one takes down the Juggernaut, the puck as well. Great rotation, and possibly the tower with this with double damage rune.
Vitoon as well. He is going to survive the kill attempt to top lane. He simply TPs away, and they don't have the overgrowth to cancel it, so he is A-okay. The regen's back home, and is going to move into the jungle and start really farming up here. A click in between camps.
Looking good for Navi though. They've utilized this Night Stalker's power spike decently for being the earliest nighttime. Usually you don't do much during this nighttime, so the fact that he got these 2 kills is actually major. And they've stopped the impact of the Dazzle in the lane, which is honestly really important. We have Shackles once again. So bad. I'm sorry, bro. Just
no, well,
this is really difficult.
He gets off
This
the
is really
grave at least.
so bad.
Yeah, he's still very dead though.
You can feel his pain though, right? He's like, I don't know what to do against the Shaman. I literally have 0 counterplay. There is no, like, Poison Touch does nothing against him. He's actually maxed it regardless, or he's putting 3 points in it.
Sweet and Strong is, sorry, make that Solo top lane, pardon me. He's going to live through these 2 heroes, trying to kill him. Like Carapace and Impale gives him enough space to get out.
Remember when you asked me when it was wise? Oh, Solo might just die actually here. Overgrowth committed. Oh, hello, Solo. Okay. Impale. That's by Carapace, but Hellscream has a faster cooldown. Remember when you asked me when you thought it was wise to like put more points in Shadow Wave or Poison Touch right on Dazzle? I feel like this is the kind of game where you put more points in Shadow Wave. As many as possible, actually. Like, I think Poison Touch, maybe even level 2 is as much as you need this game.
Yeah, 3 points in it now. The duration does feel good. The physical damage surely is going to be nice, but it is going to be a bit of a struggle here to keep his allies sustained, especially with the 1 point in Grave. Because now I think you need to start maxing Grave pretty much.
It's more about like what do these abilities give you, right? Poison Touch, it gives you the fact that you can win the lane with it. But if your lane is already bad, then it feels like a lot of lost points, right? And then it just peaks afterwards with a shard, which is fine, but you don't need to get a lot of points in it early. Whereas Shadow Wave, it allows you to push waves, and Shadow Grave allows you to take team fights, right? Mind you, maybe Shadow Grave this game is pretty bad because there's nobody that really abuses it too much, but it's still a better spell than a Poison Touch that does nothing. On top of this, Poison Touch will stun you, auto-stun you with a Nyx. Shaman ignores it. I guess it could be useful against Night Stalker, but good luck getting to Night Stalker before he crippling fears you, right? So,
well, I mean,
that's
so far no one has taken the skill points in it, so seems like that could still be a viable strategy.
Soon though, so soon. There's no need to rush for no one. He's playing around that shard timing that we've seen so often. And I don't think Dazzle will have a shard by then either. No, he's really poor. So bad it's just to recover. Again, not his fault. I'm not criticizing it. It's just a difficult matchup. As Lays in the top lane has been silenced. Stream Cold as well. He does not get the Starbreaker. Throws the hammer. But can't retrieve it because, of course, he's leashed. And that will kill off Lays.
Yeah, Celestial Hammer fire damage is a bit weaker, but it's got a bit more of a brunt there. If you land the Bludgeoning Hammer with it. Bit more damage as Solo is going to immediately return the Poison Touch. He's going to be quite slow here, though, with 2 attacks connecting. Not slow, though, is Sweet and Strong planting down the Serpents in the mid-wave, and no one even committing the ultimate here, going for the free kill into the Dazzle. Deleted.
My shadow falls.
That'll be the tower going down without much of a fight or a response from Nemiga, who are very, very slowly sieging this top tower.
Now they will suffer.
A tier 1 that falls to the Shadow Shaman. This opens up both the enemy jungle and the triangle. Enemy jungle's already been taken over by Vitoon, though, so that's perfect. Proactive plays, we call it, right? You know, Vitoon trusted his teammates to take the tower, so he's already there farming. And with the Mask of Madness plus Max Lunar Blessing and Moonglaves. I do like, actually, I'm a big fan of this build of the second point of Listen Beam. It's a really, really value hit skill point. Doubles your damage, right? Very nice, only for 10 more mana. And then you just can still go for the farming build on Lunar Blessing and Moonglaves.
Yep, value points very good there. Plus, if you need to put an emergency point into Eclipse, your beams hurt a lot more, which is going to be a bit of,
That's a good point. No. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's just like a bit of an emergency point, right, if you ever do need it. Lunas usually don't farm with spare XP points, but, you know, with the amount of farm that you do, every now and then you get a level. Maybe you just need to dump a point into that, join a fight, and, you know, drop a single Eclipse. That ends up being quite meaningful towards your team.
Yeah, the Eclipse, especially as Luna, she's very similar to Juggernaut in this function, which is obviously your early ultimate is not going to get you too many kills, right, alone, but it's a threat. So whenever you're farming into place and they want to gank you, all of a sudden when there's a Luna or a Jug, you're thinking, maybe I need 2-3 heroes, right, as opposed to a single one. Maybe I can't just commit my offlaner +1, I need another 5, and that obviously wastes resources from the map. So it's a way to put pressure as carries when you're farming aggressively that is often understated. Having that ultimate off cooldown is a really, really big deal, even if it might seem inefficient sometimes to not use it, because that threat of the Eclipse or the Omni Slash is important.
Little chat wheel line from no one, as Hellscream is gonna use the ulti for scouting for vision. Doesn't see anyone contesting. No one, however, does scout 2 TPs with the Vendetta, as he sits outside of all the sentry wards that Nemiga have planted for him.
Solo gets double damage rune. There you go, Solo. Plus 65. Watch him go, Richie.
Watch him
go.
This Vendetta is just bonus, so of course this does not get doubled.
No.
That'd be pretty crazy if it did. You'd see some
that.
like
Can
Nyx
you imagine?
Daedalus builds. That'd be pretty epic.
Yeah, I remember. Does he still? He doesn't have the agility talent anymore, right?
No,
Remember the
yeah,
people
he
that were
used to.
like, I take agility on Nyx. I build E-Blade.
Yeah, I mean that was a little bit of a different Nyx than critting, but I suppose spell crit damage is maybe something to consider.
Well, but E-Blade was also because you got a lot of agility out of it, right? So you just like dealt a lot of physical damage and magical. So you like burst someone and then you auto attack someone else.
Sure, but you know, you're a Nyx, right?
No, it was terrible. I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying like it was fun. You know, back in Dota 1, because Nyx is called Assassin, right? Back then Malrine. He silenced the crippling fear. Is gonna destroy him. Shackle just in case. After the Hex. Yeah, back in Dota 1, and we guided ourselves more by like stats and names because we don't know how to play, right? So because Nyx was Assassin, we thought clearly Assassins have physical damage, right? There's no way around it. So I have seen my fair amount of Nyx Battle Furies back in the day. That was a common build.
No one gonna get a 2-for-1 special here. This is a core Treant Protector, so this is a bit more valuable than you might expect. As now even Hellscream in a bit of a difficult situation. Nice little Starbreaker to finish off the Zeus. And level 1 Serpent Wards, but with a creep wave here, they still might be able to actually take this tower.
Yeah, they just need to tank it a little bit so Serpent Wards don't die. There you go. You also have Luna as well with Mask of Madness. Mid lane, there's an attack on Solo's life, but he's capable of running them, especially because Solo has 2 fluffy hats, and that keeps him alive, actually.
Bonus HP. They make another jump here back onto Malrine. Oh, Coil is going to find a
jump.
2. As the armlet toggling from Night Stalker so far is going to be required to keep him alive. And yeah, they got a little bit too cute for that. Malrine with a double kill there. Just no HP to play with, unfortunately, for no one.
Solo was actually trying not to break it, but he just misread the distance because he was starting to spike Carpus the damage at the end, right, for the puck. He also tried to spike Carpus the damage at the beginning. I don't know if you saw that, like he cutely spiked Carpus, and he was waiting for Puck to initiate on Night Stalker. Puck gets initiated instead. There's the Orchid coming into play. Lay's realizing he can't solo kill a Puck, especially when there's 3 heroes behind him and a Treant Protector, so he's gonna respect him instead. Good choice, right? There's no need to feed at this point now.
Yep. Tower bottom did get taken. Kiritich is, did go for this recovery Midas and He is recovering. He's still in recovery mode. Javelin in the inventory. No Maelstrom yet.
You think that's what it is? You don't think he was planning on this build to begin with?
No, I don't think so, to be honest.
It feels to me like Midas become a very popular item these days, and heroes in general, right? Like people are starting to pick it up much more. And I actually kind of a fan of a Jug Midas in general. You take advantage of attacks because of your low BAT. You're really dependent on the experience because your talents are so good, right? Like up to level 20, I think your talents are actually super important. So Midas works well with you. And obviously, the attack speed synergizes with your Omni Slash. So I think this is a viable build recovery, or not. I actually don't. You know, Mid-1 used to do it all the time. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Bring it back, please.
I'm not so sure. I don't know. Maybe you're right about it. I think there's logic there, right? But
a bit slow though.
That's my thing. It's a bit slow. I think Jug has the potential to be one of the faster carries. I imagine maybe that's what they had in mind when they picked him here. Obviously, things go awry when a Night Stalker mid completely destroys, or actually doesn't really destroy Malrine, but destroys your early game. So perhaps that's just a built-in mechanism. He knows that he's not really going to be able to join fights too early on. Life is rather difficult, so just go for the Midas and hope to scale a little bit better when eventually Luna comes out of the jungle, which might be very soon, mind you, as Vatoon's got a full BKB ready to go.
Oh, Blaze, though, has been found here. He gets Dream Cold, so he can't use his hammer. At least starts to stop the Zeus, but that's not going to help out. Throws the hammer out of spite, can't retrieve it, but here comes the counter initiation. It's no one who's leading so bad to target. Crippling Fear will ensure that he dies as Vazia tries to counter initiate, but it's Rita Strong, jumps in, catches the puck, the double shackles, no way to cancel him because Overgrowth got used too early. Vazia regretting this choice as no one finishes off Hellscream, and Vazia turned from tree to animal to corpse. Na'Vi will take down 4.
And that's probably Roshan as well here. Vatoon doesn't... Well, he does use BKB, pardon me, in that engagement, but well used as it's 4 dead, all in exchange just for the offlaner. And, yeah, I mean, even when you are able to initiate here onto the Dawnbreaker, she ends up farming in a pretty safe position, such that she's not going to really be super bothered by taking a death in that place. Even now, ulting back in for the team. A little bit of stun onto Roche should allow them to finish him off before Nemiga can get inside the pit. Most notably this Puck, who is just now respawning as Na'Vi exit the pit. That is Karatich, though, looking to join the fight. There's going to be the Dazzle Shard online, but now Karatich is stuck on the high ground. The Omni Slash there into the Crippling Fear. Sweden Strong as well, dropping a quick little Hex, and the kill. The damage is there from Lays. Karatich is dead. Looks like they'll only get Sweden Strong out of this for now. His solo at least is turned into a pig, but does at least reflect the Poison Touch damage. He's being focused fired now. Lots of right-click damage out from Vazia, but he's going to eat the stun, and that might be enough distance for him to escape. Nope. Malrine is going to close the gap, and with the Witchblade damage, has the kill.
Had to use Spike Carpus, right, to get rid of, or to stun the Dazzle, to stun the Puck out, and that didn't allow him to... Sorry, to stun the Dazzle in the Twin Protector, and that didn't allow him to stun the Puck, right, who was close on his tail. Regardless, though, I think Na'Vi should be pretty happy with how these engagements are going. Like, they're still in their favor. The only losing supports, they got a really nice kill on the Jug. And maybe don't stack these silences. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of, like, Orchid onto the Crippling Fear, onto the Hex, right? Maybe leave 1 or 2 of those alive if you want to counter-initiate. I love the Eastern European style of just throw everything at him, you know, even the kitchen sink. But maybe sometimes keep the kitchen sink for when the second intruder comes into your triangle. I don't know. It's a good idea. Save ammunition, right?
Just start blasting.
Just start blasting is the choice, with Shackles keeping him in place. Kiritich will fall. They carry down yet again. 40 seconds without him. But a counter initiation, seemingly from Nemiga, as Vazia is coming in from behind, has Overgrowth ready. This could actually be kind of major, but we do have a BKB on Luna. No Manta style just yet. And there goes Noah with a 6th Sense. Catches the Puck here. He's been silenced. The Clip is taking him down, and Puck is gone. They need the last core here. It's going to be Vazia. The Overgrowth is stopped by the Orchid. No one. I think he just caught the glimpse of them as soon as they revealed themselves on the ward.
Yep.
And he was quick to jump.
And he's right there as well on the Sobad. An easy kill for him. Buyback out from Malrine, looking to punish. And they ought to have the damage here, especially as he snaps the coil. But the Tier 3 still under siege from Vatoon, who is holding out of the Aegis. The BKB charge as well. And Malrine's not jaunting onto that orb. So the Snakes will finish off the Tier 3 tower. Na'Vi with a good push do force a buyback, but do themselves get their mid laner killed in return. How much gold was that? 535. Yeah, it's a very worth buyback there. The buyback cost was a little bit more expensive for Malrine, but it does limit the damage done to your high ground buildings. You don't want a Luna bouncing glaives off of your structures this early.
Yeah, and against the Luna, I also will put this conditional that you don't really get a choice, like as in you don't really get time to think, right? Like Luna is hitting your buildings for what? Maybe 30 seconds and they're already gone, right? So you have to just go and be quick about this. So even if it wasn't the best buyback, it's understandable against Luna. She puts a lot of pressure onto you. Solo gets hexed up and like that's so long. I know it's 2 seconds, but it just looks ridiculous. Laze is capable of at least blinking himself to safety. Na'Vi will be capable of disengaging. At least for now. Nemiga chases after them with the smoke. Extra movement speed will help him catch at least someone. Maybe no one. No one eating a creep. No one tanking a gank. Actually, no one is tanking this gank.
Yeah, everyone blinked here, though. They don't have blink daggers ready to go.
Oh, it's Sweden strong in the end, huh? At least Orchid on the puck, which prevents more of this. As they all disengage. Laze realizing it was best to just go, you know, home.
Is under attack.
Platoon still has Aegis, has another item coming his way, I think. Yep, it's the Ag Shard, ready to go. Fully online. Lips is also ready, as so bad. Maybe is scouted here. Yeah, Vatoon just barely has eyes on him. But is not really looking to solo engage at the moment. Kaya into the E-Blade next for Malrin is a pretty solid defensive choice here, to be honest, versus the Night Stalker. Especially when you are silenced by the Crippling Fear. Just, I mean, hit yourself or the Night Stalker with the E-Blade just to make sure that you're not eating all that physical damage. Shard finished as well by the Juggernaut into the Manta style next for him. He still really is a bit far behind and doesn't seem like he's going to be able to farm this stack in peace as Na'Vi are going to look to set up on him. A great blink stun out from Solo. The initiation is just about flawless as they cut through Kiritich.
For how short your lives are, you've done quite well.
Vazia nearby. He's like, oh, overgrowth. Yeah, cancel TP, Vazia. Go for it. But Laze hasn't been cancelled. Laze actually silences the puck, stuns him as well. They want to finish off Vazia first. Puck has been shackled. Cello Grip will save him for now. But Vazia will not be so lucky as Laze sacked himself to make sure they could kill the enemy offlaner. No one's on the hunt. He does the armlet. Still can need a creep around here. Goes for the supports first. Hullscream will fall. So bad also being killed off by a Night Stalker as they kill off Maureen thanks to Vatoon's damage. Vatoon, sorry. As Na'Vi gets the team wipe, forces the GG. That's how strong that team wipe was.
Yeah, and I think that kind of makes sense. This was a really, really strong opening game from Na'Vi, up 11k. The team fights just feel impossible, to be quite honest, is what it's conditional of for Nemiga.
For sure. I feel like Na'Vi looked like the better team overall. I think that Night Stalker pick absolutely ruined them. Or sorry, ruined